Okay, I want to talk a little bit about my experience. This is not a book review. This is more like what I think, what are my thoughts about this book that I just finished reading. The book is The Woman by Christine Hanna. I hope I am pronouncing her name correctly. But anyways, let's go to what I came here for. The first thing that I want to say about this book is that it is a really good book. It's a good book. The story is very engaging, it's very interesting, but I have some complaints about this book. The first half of the book, when Frankie was in Vietnam, it was incredible. It describes everything there in a very realistic way, and you can almost see, feel, be there with her while she's going through all that as a nurse in Vietnam. And to be honest, that was a part, the history that I didn't know. Always when we think about Vietnam, we always think about how many soldiers die, and like all the kids and civilians and everything, but we never think about the women that were there. It's like in our head, it's like there was only men. Like in general, like people think war and they only think about the soldiers. They don't think about the people taking care of those soldiers when they're injured, when they're hurt in combat. So that book helped me and opened my mind. This is another part of the history that we don't talk about much, which I think is the main point of this book. It's like to show the world that Vietnam War was not only men who died there, was not only the soldiers that were in the field fighting. So the first half of the book is incredible. You can stop reading and you want to know more and you want to see what is gonna happen. But when we get to the second half of the book, Frankie finally got home. For me, it was a bittersweet experience. There was a time that I was very close to stop reading the book. I know she went through a lot of things, but since the beginning, the main character in this book is it's very obsessive with things, right? First, she went to the war because she wants to make her dad proud. Then, when she was supposed to come, when she finished the first year serving in Vietnam, that she was supposed to come like the other two friends of her did, she signed up again for another year because she can't leave, because those soldiers there need her. Even though she was very stressed, she was not sleeping, she was overworked, and she already did a year. She served her country, but no, she wants to stay another year. Then she fell in love with that guy, Rai, which since the beginning you can tell, oh my god, this is not the right guy for her. But she fell in love in a way, it's so frustrating at times when you're reading that book. But when I say that the second half of the book is the most frustrating, and that I swear I almost stopped reading the book. When she got home, first, it was hard for everyone that was in Vietnam, right? I understand that. But she's so obsessive that basically at times make me feel that she don't want to forget, that she doesn't want to move on. She resists to keep going with her life. She's still like obsessive with Vietnam and everything related to it. So her friends that were there for her all the time, which I fell in love with both of them because they were great friends. I don't think there is friendships like that anymore. They were like a big support for her. Unfortunately, that was not enough for her. Because first she was obsessive because she was obsessive with the fact that she want people to recognize that women also were in Vietnam. And she also was obsessive with her father acknowledging her as a hero. And I understand where she's coming from, but at times it's like, okay, just let it go. If she doesn't recognize that you're a hero, it's okay. Like, the one that needs to know that it's you. You did what was supposed to be done. You serve your country, you help your Vietnam friends. You did what you were supposed to do, and you did it for 2 years. No 1, 2 years. You should be proud of yourself for what you did, but it's not enough for her. Then she resists to fall in love with another person because she's still in love with that guy that she thought that was killed there. But then finally, when she finds someone that was a great guy for her, she didn't really love him, but she got pregnant, and then now they're gonna get married, and then she find out that that person that she thought that was killed there, that was just a piece of shit, that was a liar, was alive, and he told her that he was not engaged, which was true because he was married. When she went there to receive him, she saw him being hugged by a little girl and a woman, which was his wife. Then the impression was so big that she has a miscarriage, and she ended up canceling the wedding. But it was not enough. She break up the relationship with that guy. But it's not enough because she's very obsessive. Now she's following and stalking this guy that has a wife and a kid. And then she start having an affair with a married man, which is really bad, which was something that she refused to do when she was in Vietnam, and now she's doing it here. It's so at time the book is so frustrating. Like, the main character really get under my nerves that I go like, this can't, like, a person cannot be so naive, a person cannot be so obsessive. Like, wow. And all the decisions that she took were really erratic and wrong, to the point that she almost killed herself, not once but twice. And it's a mess up. Like, for everyone it was really messy and was like a shitty situation, but for her was like really bad. But at the end, the book or the story fixed itself a little bit, and I'm glad that I read the book, that I didn't stop till I finished the book, because as I mentioned before, I was about to stop reading the book. But again, it's a good book, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed reading the book, but I also almost have a heart attack reading the book, and I get angry and I get frustrated. That's why I say it's like a bittersweet experience. It's like I want to understand her, but then at the same time I go like, ah, my God, that's so stupid. But will I recommend this book? Absolutely. It's a really good book.